Welcome back to the channel. We continue with the reading of The Secret of Light by Walter Russell. Chapter 1. The Eternal Question. Who am I? What am I? Why am I? Whither am I bound? What is my relation to the universe, to man, and to God? What is truth? How am I to know truth? Whence cometh my power? What is the source of my power? How am I to find balance in my dealings with my fellow men? How am I to know that balance in our interchange which will enrich both him and me? Countless are the religious teachings, and many are the commandments to goodness. But goodness is still veiled from my eyes, like a thick mist, which hides thy light which vainly seek. I stumble in its darkness. Unbalanced I fall. O thou unseen one, tear from my eyes the blinding veil which hides the path to thy light, that I may find my way to thee. That is the cry of the ages. That is the unanswered question which is arising from the heart of this awakening generation. Civilization progresses in cycles. New comprehension periodically transforms mankind into higher beings. A new cycle of 3,000 years duration is now in its birth throes. God's omniscience, omnipotence, and omnipresence are centered in the consciousness of every man. But few there are who know of the oneness of their self-soul with the universal self-soul. Man requires many millennia to begin to be aware of that. Each cycle of man brings him nearer to his awareness of his oneness with the light of his self-source. Man lives in a bewildering, complex world of effect, of which he knows not the cause. Because of its seemingly infinite multiplicity and complexity, he fails to vision the simple underlying principle of balance in all things. He therefore complexes truth until its many angles, sides, and facets have lost balance with each other and with him. Truth is simple. Balance is simple. Rhythmic balanced interchange between all pairs of opposite expressions in natural phenomena and in human relations is the consummate art of God's universe of light. It is also the law. In this one fundamental universal law lies the balanced continuity of all creative expression in God's electric wave universe of two conditioned lights in seeming motion which record God's one whole idea of creation into countless seemingly separate parts of that whole idea. The voice within, the great unanswered question of man, has a simple answer. The silent voice within every man is ceaselessly whispering it to his awakened consciousness. Every desire written upon the heart of man is carried to the source, and its answer will come. But few there are who ask comprehensively, and fewer still who hear. Many are the ages of preparation for worthiness to hear it, for man's consciousness is insulated from his source by the sensations of his electrically conditioned body, which he wrongly thinks of as being his mind and his personal self. What he calls his objective human mind is but the seat of electric sensations of his body. What he mistakes for thinking is but an electrical awareness of things sensed and recorded within the cells of his brain for repetitive usage through what is termed memories. Memories have no more relation to knowledge of universal mind, which is in man, than Victrola records are related to the source of their recordings. What he thinks of as his living body is but an electrically motivated machine which simulates life through motion extended to it from its centering self-soul, which alone lives and wills the body to move. What he calls his subjective mind is his consciousness, his spiritual storehouse of all knowledge, all power, and all presence. That consciousness is his self, his eternal self, through which his omniscience, omnipresence, and omnipotence are expressed as he slowly becomes aware of their presence within him. The electrically oscillating nerve wires which operate his bodily mechanism act almost entirely through automatic reflexes and instinctive control. and to a very little extent through mental decisions. Each cell and organ of his body has an electrical awareness of its purpose, and each fulfills that purpose without any mental action whatsoever upon the part of the intelligence which occupies that body. The heartbeat, for example, is purely automatic. The white corpuscles of the blood rush to repair an injury to the body as automatically as a bell rings when a button is pushed. In this body and its electric recording brain, man thinks that he thinks and lives, loves and dies. He thinks himself conscious while awake and unconscious when sleeping, unaware that in all nature there is no such condition as unconsciousness when sensation ceases in sleep. Man does not say that his tooth is unconscious when it is put to sleep by short-circuiting the electric current in the nerve wire which gives sense electrical awareness to his tooth. He knows that his tooth cannot be conscious, but then he does not know that his body cannot be conscious, nor does he yet know that consciousness never sleeps, never changes, for consciousness in man is his immortality. It is the light which he is unknowingly seeking, but assumes that the sensation of his brain is his thinking man is still new. He is barely out of the dark of his jungle. For the 1,000,000 or more years of his unfolding, he has relied upon sensation for his actions, and the evidence of his senses for his knowing. He has been aware of the spirit in him only a very few thousands of years. In this beginning of his new awareness, he is confused, knowing not which is mind in him, which is consciousness in him, and which is sensation. He has not yet learned that bodies are but self-created mechanisms which manifest their centering self, and that self manifests God as one with it. Likewise, he has not yet learned that bodies neither live nor die, but repeat themselves continuously and forever, as all idea of mind likewise repeats itself. The wheel, for example, is a mechanism consisting of a hub, spokes, and a rim. A little part of the wheel touches the ground, feels it, then leaves it, to disappear from reach of the sensations which connect rim, spokes, and ground. But then it reappears. When that happens to man, we say, he was born, lived, and died. When it happens to the apple, the flame, or the tree, we say, the apple was eaten, the flame has gone out, and the tree has decayed. We say that because only a small part of the cycle of any idea comes within the range of our senses. The larger part of the cycle is beyond our range of perception, just as the larger part of the wheel is beyond the senses' perception of the ground. We do not yet know that the invisible part of the cycles of all ideas is as continuous as the wheel is continuous. The cycle of the apple is light reaching from the sun and earth to that positive half of the apple cycle which we hold in our hand. The negative half of the cycle is light returning to sun and earth for repetition as another manifestation of the eternal idea of the apple. The same is true of the flame, the tree, or any other part of the one whole idea of creation. The flame goes out to our sensing, but it still is. Likewise, the tree, the forest, mountain, planet, and the nebula of the far heavens appear, disappear, and as surely reappear. Likewise, man appears to disappear and reappear again and again in countless cycles to express eternal life of the spirit in eternal repetitions of that part of the man cycle which the body of man can sense. Man never dies. He is as continuous as eternity is continuous. Jesus rightly said that man shall not see death, for there is no death to see or to know. Likewise, the body of man does not live, and having never lived, it cannot die. The spirit alone lives. The body but manifests the spirit. That which we think of as life in the spirit of man manifests itself by willing the body to act. Actions thus made by the body under the command of its centering soul have no motivative power or intelligence in themselves. They are but machines motivated by an omniscient and omnipotent intelligence extended to them. These things we do not yet know. For man is in his infancy. He is but beginning to know the light. Be ye forever transformed. Man is forever seeking the light to guide him on that long, tortuous road which leads from his body's jungle to the mountaintop of his awakening soul. Man is forever finding that light and is being forever transformed as he finds it. And as he finds it, he gradually finds the self of him, which is the light. And as he becomes more and more transformed by the God light of the awakening self within him, he leaves the jungle farther below him in the dark. There are those who seek the light, who are discouraged because they seemingly cannot find it, wholly unaware that they have forever been finding it. Unknowing ones expect to find it all at once in some blinding flash of all power, all knowledge, and all presence. It does not come that way until one is nearing his mountaintop. Man cannot bear much of the light at a time while his body is still new and too near its jungle. All who are well out of the jungle have already found enough of the light to illume their way out of its dark depths. He who is far out of the jungle and still seeks the light in the high heavens is forever finding it, and is forever being transformed as he finds it. One cannot for one moment remove his seeking eyes from his high heaven, for ever so slight a glimpse below into the dark brings him back to the fears of the dark, which tempt him to plunge back into them. Look ye, therefore, forever upward into the high heavens of inspiration, where glory awaits the fearless, all-knowing seekers of beauty, in the purity of the universal light. To him whose eyes are in the high heavens, the light will forever come, and he will be forever transformed as he finds it. The dark road from his jungle to his mountaintop of glory becomes ever more illumined during the ascent from body to spirit. It is a hard but glorious road to climb. All must make the climb. The ascent of man from the dark to the light is the forever repetitive play of man on the planets of suns. When all mankind has found the light, the play will be finished. Likewise, this planet will be finished as an abode for man. It will then be rolled off into its ever-expanding orbit while Venus is gradually being rolled into place to become the stage for the next repetition of the ascent of man in this solar system. We actors of the play must therefore be content with the lines of the play revealed to each of us in light. We must likewise be ever joyous at our continuous transformation, as each one of us learns our part, line by line, the better to fulfill it worthily. All parts of the play are experiences which become the action of the play. All man's experiences are part of his unfolding. Each experience is a part of his journey from the dark to the light. All experiences are steps in that journey to his mountaintop of glory. All experiences, therefore, are good experiences. There is naught but good. There is no evil. There is naught but life. There is no death. End of Chapter 1. If you found this video informative, be sure to like and subscribe for more explorations into history, spirituality, and the mysteries that continue to captivate our curiosity. Until next time, keep exploring, and may your journey be filled with enlightenment and divine guidance.